Hello YouTube, my name is Eddie and welcome to my channel, eddieinreadingland. And today I thought that I would share with you my top 3 depictions of the Fool of the current decks that I have. So let's get started. Okay guys, so I will have some honorable mentions because I thought that talking about 3 cards was just going to be it was going to be a very short video. So I decided that I was instead going to show you 5, but there is a top 3 with 2 honorable mentions. And the first honorable mention is the Fool from Victoria Iva's The Black Tarot. The reason why I like this Fool is because it's very different. It's very expressionistic. There's a sort of mystery and a serene vibe that I get from this card. I like the position of the Fool as if it's dancing or as if it's jumping out of the staff where they are. I actually also enjoy very much the little bone creature here staring at the Fool as if caring for it. It's very cool. It's very dark. This is a very shadow deck. But something about this card intrigues me, and the fact that the moon is here instead of the sun as well. It's just very fascinating and mesmerizing in a very shadow work sort of way. Yeah, so this is my first honorable mention, and my second honorable mention is the Fool from the Shadowscapes Tarot by Stephanie Puy-Moulin. I really enjoy this Fool. This card is beautiful. Actually, one of the complaints that I have about this deck is that it should be larger so that we're able to see the card better, because this card has a bunch of details. I'll show you. Hopefully, it'll catch it over here. But this column or precipice or mount where the Fool is at just has very intricate designs. I don't know if you're able to see the winged monkeys, the butterflies, the bees, the rose, the orbs, the swirls. There's even a tiny heart over here that this little monkey is holding. It's a shame that this tarot is not on a larger version, because it'll give us a lot more perspective and a lot more focus for us to see all of the symbols and the colors and the details that Stephanie put into these cards, because there are a lot of them. But the reason why this is I like this one better than the other one is because this is a lot more colorful. This is a lot more stylized. This is a lot more fantastical, and it's also very elegant. I find that there's an elegance to Stephanie's artwork that I haven't seen in other artwork, and I love the fact that the birds are sort of trying to restrain the Fool in a way before she just lets go and falls into the precipice. But yeah, I just enjoy very much looking at this artwork. And the reason why it's not in the top 3 is because of the next cards. So my number 3 will be the Fool from the White Numen Tarot by, let me see if I get her name right, Alba Ballesta Gonzalez. This Fool just captivates me. The very colorful background set against the white of the, I'm assuming these are dogs. I'm not very sure. They could be dogs, they could be wolves, they could be foxes. I think that they're definitely canines. But and this figure, even though they look very feminine, it's also, they also look very very non-binary to me. I do know that the creator has some of the cards in this deck that are very androgynous. So that's probably where I'm picking that up from as well. I'm not very sure if Alba herself or themselves how they identify, but they just did a fantastic job with this Fool. I like that you're able to see the horizon. I feel like that's important for the Fool, that there's a horizon, there's a goal. They have companions. They're not alone. They're going to be assisted. They're not going to go out and be crazy and just let themselves go. They have companions that they have to think about, and they have companions that are thinking about them. I love that the figure looks very serene again, contemplating the rose, contemplating their next steps. I think that what I like best about this depiction of the Fool is that they don't seem to be in a rush. They don't seem to be irrational. They seem to be contemplative. They seem to be assessing and waiting for the right time to take that leap of faith. So that this is why the card is number 3. It would have been higher on the top 3, but I put it on number 3 because I do like a Fool that you can see that they're going places. You can see that they're going. And as you can all see, this Fool is actually very, very passive, and they do look like they're waiting for something. But yeah, so let's go to the next one. So this one in particular, this is the Fool from the, let me see if I get the name right, the Classics of Mountains and Seas Tarot by Carolyn Zing. This is just an overall very beautiful deck, but this Fool I very much like because they have jumped. They're falling with purpose. You can see that they're strong and that they will be able to survive the fall. You can see that this Fool also has a set goal. They're not just jumping for the sake of jumping. There is an aim. They're being taken somewhere, or he's taking himself somewhere. The other thing I like about this card in particular is the fact that the companions they seem to be dragons. And that reminds me of the Mariel Tarot, where you can see a similar Fool dragon companions as well. But this is just one of those cards that are incredibly beautifully rendered. It's also very detailed. The sun in the background illuminating the Fool just gives it that little bit extra that I really enjoy in this card. The more I see the card, the more I want to be this Fool. The more I want to follow this Fool into its own adventure, into his own adventure. Accompany him in the journey like these dragons seem to be. In my mind, I believe that the dragons are following the Fool after the fact. After the fact of the Fool jumping, as if they are joining him instead of being its companions. It's just a beautiful card overall. But the only reason why it's not number one, it's because even though he looks very strong and he looks like he has a purpose and he has a goal, the card it's quite muscular, and it's almost a bit too masculine for me. And I think that the Fool needs to have a sort of naiveness to it, a sort of innocence, a sort of sense of not working yet. This person seems like they have worked a lot. So that's why it's number 2 and not number 1. Number 1, however, is the Fool from the Sephiroth Tarot. It's called Sephiroth, the Spheres of Heaven Tarot. And it's by various people. Elliot Baum, George Hubmeyer, Viv Tanner, with James Patton. Hopefully those are all of the people, because I did have to research, and I also looked at the box to see how many people worked on this tarot. But from the tarots that I have, this is my favorite Fool, because not only is this Fool androgynous, we don't really know what their gender is. We don't have to know. We don't need to know. The sun is illuminating this Fool, especially in the head over here. To me, that represents a sort of innocence, a sort of brilliance in that innocence. A mind that is ready to absorb information, a mind that it's a person who is ready to absorb experience. I just really like the look on this Fool's face. They are definitely looking at the future, not worried about the past, not worried about the present either, I feel. You can see that it has been a journey over here in the Fool's cape. Or is it a? I'm not really sure if it's a cape or if it's a some sort of dressing. But the fact that there is a journey depicted in the cape and the Fool looking to the future, it just gives me that feeling of the past. You carry the past with you, and you're able to look at your past and use it for your present, so that you don't repeat the same mistakes in your future. So I think that the design of this, it's very, very smart. It's very creative. I love the colors. The colors are amazing. The orange and the flowers in the Fool's trousers, the wand that they're carrying, so that so that they have some sort of support on their journey and on their goal moving forward. Some sort of structure in the background with, by the way, with the Hebrew letter for the Fool. As if the Fool is ignoring the structure. It's just very it's very on point for me. I do like that the Fool is ignoring their past. I do like that the Fool is ignoring the structure, because when I think about the Fool, I think that the Fool is a person who is ignoring the rules and being creative and just following along in their own path. So this card for me is very inspirational. And that's why it's number 1 in my top 3. They have done an incredible job with this rendition of the Fool. And actually, the whole deck it's pretty cool too. But yes, so my number 1, the Fool from Sephiroth, the Spheres of Heaven Tarot, by various artists. I will have the name of the tarot in the artist below, of all of these actually, just so that you guys know. But yeah, let me know in the comments which Fools are your favorite, or which one's your favorite Fool, if you have one, so that we can chat a little bit about the Fool card. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this video. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.